Hey guys, it's Cloud here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a cool intro in Blender. So first select the default cube. By right-clicking it, click delete, and delete it. Next, you're going to want to click 1 to set it at the plane view. Click Control, Alt, and then 0 on your number pad. Next, you're going to want to stay here, do Shift A to add, and go down to here, text. Now you're going to want to click R to rotate it, click X to rotate it on the X-axis, and click 90. Now click Tab, set the text back, and then type in your name. Drag this out here. Go to font, go to font, go down here, click Align Center. Now what you're going to want to do is click the File tab under Regular for the font, and find wherever you have your font saved. I have mine as Break It Down on my desktop. Okay, that's cool. And now let's resize this. And then what you're going to want to do is move your camera here, move it up to about that height, and then let's see how that looks. Okay, so now we're going to take our text, move that into the center, set the extrude value to 0.3. That's the value I normally use. It works well for me. And then I just size it up until I think it looks nice. That looks really good. Now size it up to the max because this is a sync intro, so when the text pulses to the beat, it'll retract instead of growing outwards. Okay, so now we have that done. So this is going to be the pretty much most basic. So now you're going to want to do material, go to diffuse, and select whatever color you want. That looks okay. Now we're going to want to go to the world tab. For the world tab, click ambient occlusion, environment lighting, and indirect lighting. And then go down here to gather and change it from ray trace to approximate. Now, down here under world again, we're going to want to change the horizon to whatever color we want. I'll change this to a nice purple. Now, because this is a background, it's going to be dark. So now we have all our text set up. So now we're going to want to drag that out, make that smaller. Go here, click N, click lock to camera view, and click N again. That means this will always be in camera view even if I move it around. Now over here. Okay. And now what we're going to do is grab another one of these out here at that top corner. Let me just put that in camera view just so it's a lot less confusing. Oops. I seem to have grabbed an extra one. Okay. Now here. In this one right here, we're going to want to do, click the square, or the cube down here, go to Graph Editor. Now in Graph Editor, you can see all that. Now we're going to want to click I outside the Graph Editor, and go to Visual Location Rotation Scale, right here. And that is clicking I on your keyboard. Now, as you can see, we have like the keyframes and everything. So now we have the keyframe set down here for that time. Now we're going to click this little drop down arrow and click the Y location. Now we're going to come down here to key, click bake sound to F curves. And now this is where you're going to select your music. I have already a set of music that I have used. You're just going to select that wherever it is and click use. So now I am using that, and now it'll bake the sound to F curve, which pretty much means the text will move to the beat that I've set. Okay, so the next part is, after we have that set, we're going to go to video editing up here. We're going to want to set this back to the default. Let me set that actually to 1. Now we're going to do add scene. That'll add our scene that we had earlier. Now what I like to do, what we're going to do now is go to sound and select that earlier sound that we had used before. So mine was this, and I'm going to add that sound. Now what that'll do is pretty much, it'll just add the sound for what you synced it with. So here's mine. Okay, so if it doesn't sync right away, don't worry. That is most likely because it has not been rendered yet, so it is still trying to render it as we are playing it, so it won't be smooth. So next, I'm going to add some visual effects. So I'm going to go to Add, go to Movie, and I'm going to select a vortex, which is one of my visual effects. I'm going to add that movie strip. I'm going to delete the top one, because that is the sound. Now here, I'm going to right click on it, go to blend, and change the blend to add. Now the blend is add, so if we do that, you can see how it is in the text. So now I'm going to change the opacity down a little bit so we can, see, let me just set that 2.5. So we can see through the vortex to our text. Sorry, this is very laggy. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, and I'm just going to go down here and change the colors, just change up the saturation. I like putting it to 2. So next what we're going to do is I'm going to find where the bass drops, so that way I can add the vortex to right where that happens. So let me start this, and I'll pause it when I get there. So here we go. Okay, so that was about where the first bass drop hit. So I'm going to right click this, drag it over to where my cursor is, and click there. So now if we see this and we play it, okay. Something went wrong there. This happened in the last intro I tried to record, which the audio messed up, so. This doesn't seem to be liking me right now, so. There we go. So now we saw that right as the vortex, initiated, right as the bass dropped, pretty much. Sorry, not dropped, because this isn't dubstep. I'm so used to dubstep Monster Cap. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I want to add another effect. So I'm going to go down to Add, Movie, and use this, the Gamer Shockwave MOV. Add. That I'm going to keep at the very beginning here. I'm going to, again, go to Cross, at Blend, and change that to Add. So now if we do, and then I'm going to change down the opacity. Always change down the opacity. And I like to change the saturation always up to 2. Okay, so here we go. Watch this. So you can see the little lines there. That's part of the shockwave thing that I have. So I'll just fast forward ahead here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sing at all right now because I have so much stuff. So this is the effect that I like right now, where you have the reminiscent parts of the shock. Okay, yeah. Oops, forgot on this one you gotta really turn down the opacity. So I'm just gonna turn that to about there. It's really up to you to fiddle with. That looks good. So you can really change that around any way you want. So now I'm gonna go back up to here. I'm gonna change this back to default. Set that back to frame 1. Okay. So next what we're going to want to do is, now that you have everything set up, everything ready to render, that's pretty much what we're going to do. So we're going to go to the camera, then we're going to come down here, instead of PNG, we want to set it to AVI JPEG, because that's what my movie output is. Then we're going to want to go to output here, click on the file tab, go to wherever you want to save your file. I like saving mine on my desktop. Then I'm going to name it whatever, so I'm just going to name mine Test Intro. Because this is pretty much what I'm going to use it for this tutorial. So that is all set up. So if we just click here, we can see the blandest of it, which is what we started with. This. And that is actually the text. That is actually perfectly synced. Okay, so what we are going to do now is come up here again and just click animation. And what that'll do is that'll just render it. When you see the little green bar, make it all the way down here. It'll stop rendering. Blender will leave it alone, and it should be on your desktop. So when this is done rendering, the music will not actually be with it. So what you're going to want to do now, or when the music is not with it, is if you have Windows, this is like a Windows tutorial, I guess. If you're on a Mac user, you can probably figure this out yourself. You're just going to want to go to Windows Live Movie Maker, open that up, insert the intro you made here, so this file that's going to be on your desktop, and then just insert the sound that you originally used to sync it, and it should be perfectly synced. Okay, well, I hope this helped. I'll be uploading this to Brawl Visuals, or the Brawl Effects as a guide soon, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Cloudy out.